All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome to your Vinyasa practice. We're going to start out today in a child's pose. And if you struggle with child's pose because of knee range of motion or putting pressure on your knees, one little trick I like is placing something underneath the backs of the knees in between hamstring and calf, like a pillow or a folded blanket or something. And you can put as many props as you want in between that space to create more space for the knee so it doesn't have to flex so much or extend so much. So just an option there. You could also place a blanket underneath the knees to create a little bit of padding. You can choose to either stretch your arms straight forward or you can take your arms back alongside your feet. You could also fold your hands underneath your forehead. So just kind of giving your spine, your body a few moments to adjust and settle in and figure out what level of support you need today. Do your best to allow your head to be heavy so that the head isn't holding any tension and the back of the neck can relax and the whole spine can begin to lengthen. As you arrive here, become aware of your breath. Without forcing the breath, just see if you can take a little bit more time on each inhale and each exhale. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. One more breath. On your inhale, pull the body forward into a tabletop shape. And just right away moving into cat and cow, beginning to articulate the spine into extension and flexion, so in and out of a back bend. And continue to utilize that breath without force, just thinking about lengthening, adding a little bit more time to each inhale, a little bit more time to each exhale. So this idea of fully breathing into your lung capacity. And fully relaxing too. So it's important to think about the interchange between the inhale and the exhale, but the bottom of the exhale, can you relax? The idea of just letting it move naturally without force. And then we'll start to draw circles with the torso. So you can make this big or small, circling out shoulders and hips. You can close the eyes and let your head get involved in this motion. Just kind of moving around your mat. And then we'll change directions with our circle or opposite pattern. Come back to a neutral spine. You're going to walk your hands forward like a handprint length. So wrists are forward of the shoulders. Take a breath in here. Hug the navel into the spine. Start to bend the elbows towards the mat. Curl the chin into the chest, hips back to the heels for child's pose. Inhale, pull your body forward. You might come into a back bend-like shape or just stick with that tabletop. Exhale, bend the elbows and then tuck the chin in and then hips to heels. So this is called Chakra Bakasana. It means dynamic wheel. You're just kind of drawing a circular shape from the side with your body. You can make your back bend as you pull forward as big as you want it, as shallow as you want it, being mindful of your movement, being mindful of how your breath reacts. 3 more rounds. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Next time you're back in child's pose, pause there, breathe. Inhale forward. We're going to set up for our first downward facing dog. So thinking about the hands as your foundation here, spread your fingers wide. See if you can get a little grip on the mat with your fingertips and press down through the knuckle mounds, especially the inner knuckle mound, thumb and index finger. So see if you can keep that as you curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back. You're pressing the floor away with your 2 strong arms and shoulders, relaxing your head between your biceps. Maybe you start to walk the feet out. You can shake your head out if that feels good. Kind of like a yes-no action with the head. So you can visualize this shape in your body if you were looking at yourself from the periphery. It's this upside down V, the tailbone slightly curling under, so the navel is active here. You hug your navel into your spine. You press the floor with your hands. Your shoulders are active. Your heel bones become heavy. Your head becomes heavy. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's widen this up a little bit. So take your feet to the outer edges of your mat. You have a wide stance in your feet. Walk your hands backward, one whole handprint, so you have a narrower stance. A wide stance, but the distance between your hands and your feet is more narrow, if that makes sense. You can just take a peek at me if it doesn't. Now we're going to take the left hand to the outer right leg. Just kind of give a little tug. Left hand to outer right leg. You can look underneath your right shoulder, bend your left elbow a little bit. Pull both hips evenly back in space. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Replace that left hand. Switch sides. Right hand reaches for outer left leg. Pressing the floor away. Pull both hips back in space. Relaxing your head. Maybe a little look underneath that left armpit. And then replace the right hand. Return to that, that's about like hip width distance apart with the feet. Walk the hands forward a little bit so it's a longer down dog. And then inhale, pull the body forward into a high plank. And settle in here for a few breaths. So wiggle the feet back, stretch back through the heels, reach forward through the crown of the head. Feel your inner thighs engaged, feel your abdomen engaged. Breathe in, press the floor away. There's that slight round to the upper back. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Without moving the feet, so there's that tendency to want to walk the feet forward, we're going to shift in and out of high plank to down dog, keeping that long stride. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, hips rise, downward facing dog. Twice more, inhale forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward. Exhale, down dog. Begin to bend the knees, slightly gaze forward. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat. If you have blocks at home or a chair or a stool, you might use that. You can place the hands on your prop just to bring the floor up a little bit higher to meet you. I'm going to hang out here for a few moments in your forward fold Uttanasana. Bend your knees right and left, relax your head, continuing to open up through the back body. You might sway your upper body side to side. You might even grab opposite wrists. Take one more breath here. So moving on to our half Surya A, half sun salutes, fingertips to the shins, lengthen the heart forward until the chest becomes parallel with the ground. Think about, again, engaging the abdomen so the back and the stomach is active. Exhaling, forward fold. Press through your heel bones. Begin to stretch your arms forward and up all the way to standing Utthita in Tadasana, arms reaching overhead. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Take a moment here to pause and close the eyes. Breathe in, relax your shoulders. Breathe out. Twice more, half sun salute. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold in. Hands to the shins or to the prop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Let that pull you all the way to standing with the arms reaching. Exhale your hands to your heart. Maybe this last round you go all the way through it with your eyes closed, just feeling into the sensations in your body. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold, and we're going to add on here, moving towards Surya Namaskar C. We'll step that left foot back first, and then let the left knee soften to the mat or a blanket if you need that extra padding. Press into your right heel bone, sweep the arms forward and up. Think more vertical spine here in this first low lunge. So more vertical spine and less back bend. There's a tendency to want to lean back with the shoulders. See if you can reach up straight towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhaling, release those hands to the mat. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. Inhale here, sweep your left leg high. Exhale, shift forward, left foot steps between the hands, right knee to the mat. Press down into your left heel, sweep the arms forward and up, and again, another vertical spine action, so hugging your navel in. Your hips are even like stacked on top of that right knee. No back bend here. Inhale. And then exhale, release those hands, top of the mat. Stepping our right foot forward, coming to the top of the mat with both feet. Inhaling right away, halfway lift. Exhaling, refold. Sweep the arms forward and up, come all the way to standing. And this time as you exhale, pull the elbows wide. Now a little bit of a back bend here. Press the pelvis forward, lift the chest, press into those heel bones, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, re-extend the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Round 2, Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Right foot steps back first. This time, option to leave that right knee lifted so you're active in your lunge. You can sweep the arms forward and up. Really dig into that left heel. Again, think vertical spine, no back bend. Little bend in that right knee if it's off the ground. Pause here, breathe in. Breathe out, plant those palms. We'll step back to not high plank, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, sweep your right leg up and back. Exhale, shift forward, right foot, top of the mat. Either relax the left knee to the floor or leave it lifted, active and engaged. Press down into your right heel, sweep the arms forward and up. Start to get into the habit of tucking that pelvis under, engaging the abdomen as you reach the arms up. If that left knee is off the mat, little bend in that left knee. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out, reach the arms forward, step forward, top of your mat. Inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhale, refold. This time, bend the knees, sink the hips here in your fold. Bend the knees, sink your hips. Belly rest on the thighs here for a moment. Now start to lift the chest and stretch your arms forward and up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Deep breath in here. Press through your heels to stand tall. Breath out. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, pull your elbows wide. You might press those hips forward slightly, lift the chest. Re-extend the arms. Let's forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees enough to plant the hands and step back into high plank. Pause in your high plank, rock forward onto the toes. Press the floor away, slight round in the upper back. Feel the thighs engage. Exhale, bend your elbows, start to come all the way to the belly, all the way to the mat. Inhale, press down through the tops of the feet. Press down through the palms of the hands. Start to lift the chest, peel the chest away from the mat. Low cobra. Keep the elbows soft alongside the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, curl the toes under, engage the thighs. Press your way up to high plank. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, shift forward, right foot between the hands. So rising up to Crescent Lunge here, both hip points remain pointing forward. Little bend in that left knee. If you're losing your balance here in your Crescent Lunge, widen your right foot off to the right side a little bit so you have more space, a wider berth between right foot and left foot. Now, we're going to start to shift the weight forward. So torso is going to lean forward. Press through the ball mound of that left foot so you're really lengthening out through that back leg. Arms, biceps alongside the ear. So you're creating this line, this diagonal line from fingertips to the back left heel bone. So your navel engage here. You're going to start to shift the weight into that right foot. We're launching forward into airplane pose. So finding the balance on that right foot, flex the left toes, press that left foot straight back behind you. Join your hands together at your heart. Feel the wobble of your right ankle as it begins to find equilibrium. So your left hip pointing down at the mat, so your hips are square. You're going to see if you can maintain this balance on the right foot as you pull the left knee forward, torso forward, come all the way to standing with your left knee lifted. And then reach the arms overhead. Again, you're still balancing on that right leg. Your left knee is lifted, left toes pointing straight forward. Either stay here, if you want a little bit more challenge, maybe kick your left heel forward, straighten out through that left leg as much as you can. Pause here, breathe. And then slowly lower that left foot back to meet the right foot, hands together at your heart. Close the eyes. Pause. Breathe. Feel yourself standing on your left foot. Feel yourself standing on your right foot. Left foot, right foot. Both feet. Just feel the soles of the feet pressing down and the energy growing tall through the body. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, stretch the arms out and up. Exhale, we'll forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold enough and bend the knees enough to plant those hands and step into your high plank. Pause in your high plank, shift forward onto those tippy toes, press the floor away, find that slight round in the upper back. Breathe in. And then exhale, bend the elbows, come all the way to the belly, or chaturanga to up dog. If you're moving to the belly, another round of low to medium cobra, or you could press your way to up dog. Just be mindful of your low back. Release out of that, come all the way back to the mat, tuck your toes, engage your thighs, press the floor away, high plank, and then hips rise, down dog. Pause, settle, breathe. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Exhale, shift forward, left foot plants between the hands, rising up to Crescent Lunge with the right knee active and lifted. Arms sweep forward and up. And then think about kind of this whole practice, we've been practicing that vertical spine in our lunge. So tucking the pelvis, navel hugs in, arms reach overhead. Keep that straight spine as you start to press through the ball mound of your right foot, lean the torso forward, biceps alongside the ear. So all of that weight starts to shift forward into that left foot here. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to launch ourselves forward into airplane pose, balancing on the left foot. Right toes are still pointing down towards the floor. Right foot is flexed as it floats in space. Hands joined together at the heart. Feel that wobble of your left leg. It's calibrating your balance here. So it's necessary because your body has to find what muscles are required to hold you in space. See if you can stay with balancing on that left leg as you start to pull the right knee forward and through. Standing up at the top of your mat, right knee lifted. Still balancing on that left leg. Arms stretch overhead. Deep breath in. So foot is flexed. Maybe even get it just stacked right underneath that knee, the right leg. And then maybe play with stretching it forward, straighten out. If you get a little bit of a cramp, no big deal, rebend the knee and try pressing it towards straight. Breathe in. And then slowly lower the right foot to meet the left foot, breathing out. Hands joined together at the heart. Close the eyes. Let's blink the eyes open. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. So if you want to move through one more vinyasa flow to get to down dog, you can, or you can simply stretch the arms overhead, breathe in, exhale, fold. Inhale that halfway lift. And here's that option for chaturanga up dog, or just simply stepping back into down dog. So what is appropriate for you? How are you feeling? You're moving through that flow, mindful movements. How does the breath feel? And then about 2 to 3 breath cycles in your downward facing dog. Okay, so from down dog, we're going to walk our feet forward just about halfway, center of the mat. You can cross your ankles, bend your knees, and lower the hips down behind your feet. We're going to roll all the way into our back and set up for a few rounds of dynamic bridge. So feet are on the mat, knees are bent, arms alongside the body, palms face down. Get a sense of your feet being parallel with each other and relatively close to the glutes. Mindful of the knees though. Pressing into your feet, lift your hips up, stretch your arms forward, up, and then back. So arms overhead, biceps alongside the ears. As you're ready, exhale, slowly release everything back to the mat. Twice more like that. Inhale, press down, lift up with the hips, stretch the arms overhead. Fullest, deepest breath in here. Exhale, slowly release. And one more time. This time I'll invite you to hold at the top. And so you can choose what you want to do with your arms. As you're lifting your hips, maybe the arms come back down alongside the body. Maybe you interlace the fingers to the webbing. You can press down through the pinky edges of the hands. Arms are straight. Or if the arms are still reaching overhead, just enjoy that. Reach through the fingertips, press through the feet. Deep breath in. Whatever shape you're making, whatever you're doing with your arms, we're going to start to release that. Everything coming back to the mat. Walk your feet wide, let your knees draw in. And then sway your knees side to side. Okay, so we'll come back through center, hug the knees into the chest. Supine twist, simple twist. Knees rotate off to your left. Right arm stretches wide off to the right side. So both shoulder blades relaxed on the mat. Chest is open towards the ceiling. Maybe the eyes are closed here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's unwind the spine. We'll come back through center. You could pause through center and hug the knees in. And then we'll transition to the second side, knees off to your right. So that left hip is now stacking on top. Left arm stretching off to the left. Chest open to the ceiling, maybe the eyes softly closing, relaxing the jaw, the muscles of the face. Feel that breath moving in and out of the body. Come back through center, unwind. Here, option to take the knees wide, reach your peace fingers for your big toes. Maybe you hook your big toes with your peace fingers and explore happy baby and Pashimotanasana. Pashimotanasana is usually a seated forward fold, but if you're on your back, we call it supine because you're on your back. If the range of motion is there, you can straighten the heel bones up towards the ceiling. Just be careful if you have any hamstring stuff going on. And then you can move towards happy baby, pulling the knees wide, bending the knees deeply, right? So Pashimotanasana or happy baby or both. Can you relax your shoulders, soften your throat, even soften the grip a little bit? Take one more breath here. We'll release out of that and we'll lengthen out on our backs into Shavasana. And feel free to add any props and make any adjustments so that your Shavasana can be comfortable and supported. Roll the shoulders down the back, slightly tilt the chin in towards the chest. Set us a timer here for 1 minute. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale the air out. Let it go, let it rest. Back teeth part, tongue widens at the base of the mouth. Eyes sink heavy into their sockets. Shavasana. I encourage you to take as much time as you need, as much time as you desire. Stay as long as you can. If you need to move on with your day, begin to add movement to your fingers and your toes. You might move your head side to side. When you're ready, bending the knees, rolling off to a side. Full breath cycle in fetal position. And then pressing up, just briefly assembling an upright seated position. to close out our practice together. You can gently rest your hands face down on your lap if you like, Jnana Mudra, which is the index finger and thumbs touching, palms face down to ground and stabilize. Relax the shoulders, grow tall through the crown of the head. Root through your sits bones, relax your hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. As you're ready, bowing the chin into the chest. Invitation to join the hands together at the heart. Acknowledging in this moment how you feel. With reverence and gratitude for the practice, may we use the fruits to serve our highest good. May we share it with those around us that we love and who could use healing. May we remember to send love and healing to all sentient beings around the world. May they be happy. May they be free. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me, for making this possible. It's such an honor to share these teachings with you. So I hope you feel good and hope you have a wonderful day. And please come back again soon.